Corey's here with us now. How you doing, mate? What are you thinking?
You know what? I think Kroenke's finally pulling out that Super Bowl money, man. He's starting to spend it, man. He's starting to spend it. But I don't know. I'm happy with the business we're doing so far. It's just getting it over the line. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people on Twitter with, you know what I mean, Rafinha and whatnot. I think that was an opportunity that presented itself, and we thought we've got to go for it. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's circumstances around that. I'm seeing people saying, oh, well, his priority is Barcelona. We've all known this. A lot of players have their preferences. But if you can't cough up the money, then the heads can get turned by other clubs. You know what I mean? Chelsea might be a priority for him more. But if they're not going to offer the money for him, then it's you know what I mean? It's all hearsay. There's nothing they can do there. If we're the ones that offer the money, and obviously we've been given inclination that he's somewhat interested in the project, you know what I mean? The project anyway. He's interested in what we're offering. Then, you know what I mean? That's why I suppose a lot of the news is saying that we're front runners. Lissandro's an interesting one because I think that came out of nowhere. I wasn't even expecting us to even be signing a centre-back, left-back or CDM hybrid. But maybe it makes sense. You know what I mean? Gabriel's the only left-sided, left-footed centre-back that we actually have. So I think that's more based off because I'm seeing reports talking about Nuno Tavares as well. Apparently him going on loan to Atalanta or was it Marseille? Maybe, you know, they're all sniffing.
Yeah, he's looking at moving out. I mean, you guys in the market are doing some phenomenal work, really, in terms of the players you're looking at, and I think it's great for Arsenal fans because this season, if you land these players and get them over the line, you're going to get all the answers to all the debates. Is your manager good enough? Yep. Has the rebuild worked? This is when you get your answer, because if Arsenal improve, as these signings should make you improve, a bit like last year, it was spoke that United rebuild was done. Oli was ready to go to the next level. They signed Sancho, Varane, Ronaldo, and the expectation was now go deliver. And I think a combination of not being a good enough manager, the system not quite being right, and not being able to handle the pressure as a collective made Man United implode. We now find out what Arsenal Football Club are made of. I wanted to ask you, Cam, as a Man United fan, looking at what Arsenal were doing, like, what's your take on it?
So I think it's good work for where they're at, right? Like the same situation we're at. Like Arsenal hasn't had Champions League football for a long time, and they're still getting people to turn their heads and decide they want to go there. I think the World Cup year is interesting. Something people are overlooking. Like a Gabriel Jesus needs to play football. Why not go to an Arsenal and try and bang? I personally think he's going to get like 11, 12 goals, which will be all right, better than what Arsenal's been having. But if he goes off, that's even better, right? And that's not even showing shade or salt. It's just from what I've seen of the player. I think he's a good player, and I think he's making the right move for his career. Rafinha is another one. Like again, these guys in the Brazil squad that's kind of deep in those front spaces. So if you're Rafinha and you're looking at Barca kind of being like, well, we want Lewandowski for sure. We definitely want, you know, Rafinha. If we get to you, we'll get to you. If I'm Rafinha, I'm like, all right, well, now that's cool. I'm going to go somewhere else. So I do think them being opportunistic. I don't believe in this whole, he wants to play there. He wants these footballers want to play football. Okay. If they sign a contract and go to a team, if they're not 40 years old or 35 and clearly looking for a last contract, like Alexis Sanchez kind of was, they're going to want to play football and they're going to show out. Rafinha's not going to go to Arsenal and be like, well, I wanted to go to Barca, so I'm going to suck. He's going to go to Arsenal and be like, Barca, you should have signed me. So if they get Rafinha, that's great for them too. The Martinez one scares me because, like you said earlier, I want Antony. I think he would be the same idea where Arsenal fans you see on Twitter, and I can't believe this mentality where they're like, yo, but we got Saka. Who cares? Like who cares? Go get a guy who's going to show you if Saka is really that good, because I think he's great, but Rafinha's going to come in and push him because he's better at this moment. If we go get Antony, all of a sudden, everybody, like, I love Rashford. I got him on my wall. But guess what, Rashford? Now you really got to play well because Sancho's going to be on that left. Antony's a right winger through and through. It's going to be a battle between those three on who gets to start game in, game out. So from what Arsenal's doing, I think it's great. And I think the difference is where people are like, oh, they're moving so quick. I don't think that's the case. I think Arteta's been there for years. I think there's a plan. He's been saying there's a plan. Like you just said, we're going to find out if the plan works. And I think he's executing. And Kroenke's spending the money. So right now, what we're seeing is a manager who said, I have a plan. I didn't spend money. Remember, he didn't spend the money. We were all saying, all right, you better spend it now. They didn't spend it in January. They missed their targets. Now they're spending the money. So I can't hate on what Arsenal's doing, and I want to.
Of course, and I think that's where Arsenal fans should be happy, because the talk in January was, well, are you going to push the money to the summer and then not spend the money? That was always the problem, or the fear factor amongst a lot of Arsenal fans, that the money was not actually going to end up being spent, as it were. But look, we're going to